Halloween Ends was going to have the Silver Shamrock plot point that we'd all speculated about. Let's talk about it.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the Night Watch Zone.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today, real quick, just for a few minutes, I wanted to talk about something that I found very, very interesting, and it was somewhat surprising and shocking, and also it just put a smile on my face. You know, everyone's been talking about Halloween Ends. We've talked a lot about that on this channel, and still, just kind of getting all of the emotions out there. But one thing I want to talk about today is that we have found out, and when I found this out, it was like, what? David Gordon Green has talked a lot about the movie and about the making of the movie and the behind the scenes of the movie in interviews recently. And he talked about the fact of how Silver Shamrock was going to have a plot point in Halloween Ends. Now, this is something that has been speculated forever for this movie, and I've talked a lot about it. I've done specific episodes and live streams on the fact that I thought that Season of the Witch would have a presence in this movie just like it did in 2018 and also in Kills. When I saw the movie, I was actually surprised that we didn't get that payoff that I thought we would have. Now, granted, we had the font that came on in the beginning of Halloween Ends, and that was pretty much the little wink and the nod to Season of the Witch, but I thought that there was going to be something a little bit more. Now, I did not think that, all of a sudden this whole movie was going to, show the factory and the mask and something with Michael's mask or the radio tower theory, all these things that have been put out there and that we've speculated about. But I did think there was going to be some type of moment that would have shown, that connection a little bit more, just like we saw in the other two movies. But here's the thing. David Gordon Green has said that the plot point for Season of the Witch or Silver Shamrock was intended to be in Halloween Ends. It was in every draft of the script written, all the way up to the final draft of the script, but it was never filmed. What? And he talked about how they were going to show the Silver Shamrock factory, and you were going to see, the masks that were being made, the witch, the skeleton, and the pumpkin, and you were going to see Michael Myers' mask being shown, being made. What? So literally they were going to go all the way, and I'm talking about all the way. My original theory was that it was going to be some type of a wink and a nod. Maybe in the movie you would have seen the commercial for Silver Shamrock, or maybe someone would have walked past a TV and they would have shown the commercial, or you heard the jingle on the radio, or something like that. Something that was kind of, just kind of there, but not so on the nose. But literally, this was going to be in the movie, basically saying that Michael Myers' mask, his mask, was a Silver Shamrock mask. Like, wow. And, I'm going to be honest, guys, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel and also on other friends' channels, Lethal Collective and so forth. I didn't want everything to be explained in Halloween Ends, and I'm really glad that they pulled back from doing that. That would have been a very dangerous thing to do, trying to explain Michael Myers' mythology and so forth. I didn't want to know exactly why he was able to do what he did, or why he did what he did, and so forth. Now, all that being said, just playing devil's advocate, I'm not going to sit here and lie as I'm recording this video. I'm not going to lie and say that if they had that scene in the movie that I wouldn't have, geeked out. That definitely would have been a really cool Easter egg. I mean, at the end of the day, David Gordon Green had said that he thought that the scene would be too much fan service, because look, man, there's been speculation about the mask being a Silver Shamrock mask for years. This is nothing new. But definitely once we saw 2018 confirm, the connection to Season of the Witch and especially kills, you literally saw the Silver Shamrock emblem on the back of those masks in the park scene, which I thought was really, really cool. Like that's kind of what I meant. That was a cool way to make the nod to Season of the Witch without it going too far, and that's what I was thinking we were going to see in Ends. But again, that being said, if they showed that scene where you basically are at the factory and you see that conveyor belt going and you see the witch and the skeleton and the pumpkin, and then you see a Myers mask, I would have been like, holy shit, I really would have been intrigued by that. Would it have made the movie better or worse? I don't know how much it would have moved the needle either way. Again, part of me wouldn't want to see it just because then, that would be basically giving an explanation to where his supernatural esque power comes from and so forth. I mean, we've seen Michael, he's evil without that Myers mask. He killed Judith without that mask. He killed the podcasters in the bathroom without his mask. So he obviously has that evil within him. Loomis said the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, staring at the wall, looking past the wall, all these types of things without the mask on. So we know he has that within him. To me, the mask has always represented kind of like an enhancement of sorts. And I've said this before on live streams. It's kind of like, the samurai. Samurai is a very formidable warrior, but when he has that weapon, when he has that katana, when he has, those enhancements with him, he's literally unstoppable in many cases. And I think that that's kind of what that mask was for Michael. It was an enhancement. It also was a way for him to hide his humanity. To me, that was a big part of the mask too. It kind of hid that humanity of sorts, so that evil, could be expressed. And I'm getting really, really deep into it. I mean, these are a lot of things. I'm sure originally John Carpenter wasn't thinking these things that deeply. He was thinking of it much more surface. But I do think the mask is a very interesting talking point as far as Michael's mythology. And to think that David Gordon Green was going to have this scene literally showing the Silver Shamrock factory and the Michael Myers mask being manufactured, on the conveyor belt or however they were going to do that. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. And I think to some degree, it solidifies a lot of what we've speculated for months and months and months and months. And for some people, for years, that there is that possible connection. Now maybe that's what David Gordon Green was talking about with the radio tower being a significant part of Halloween Ends. Obviously it was a place where there was, the two kills by Corey. Corey and Allison were hanging out there and so forth. But other than that, I don't think it was really very significant. Not to the level that we had all thought, but maybe with this scene with Silver Shamrock, maybe the tower would have played a more significant role, or maybe, they would have had that moment where the jingle was being played on the radio and, so forth and so forth. Interesting stuff, man. I mean, there's a lot about the behind the scenes of this movie that has started to come out, and I think it's really interesting conversation because it shows how filmmakers approach these projects. And for a lot of people that did not like Ends, and for the people that did, I think these are just interesting things to just kind of add to the experience. Me, for one, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I think they had missteps, and I've talked about that on live streams and videos. Please check those out. But there's more conversation to be had. So definitely for you guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this revelation that Silver Shamrock was going to be in the movie? Our theories were right. Our speculation was basically right. It just wasn't filmed, but it was in every version of the script, all the way up to the final draft. What do you guys think about that as a possibility? And let me know in the comment section. Also, please like the video, it helps support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, what are you doing? This is the time to do it. And yeah, having these discussions, it's a blast. And we're having a lot of fun. So, anyways, I will catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.